Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm your bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed.
Ehi, adesso come stai? Tradita da una storia finita e di fronte a te l'ennesima salita. Un po' ti senti sola, nessuno che ti possa ascoltare, che divida con te i tuoi guai. Mai, tu non mollare mai, rimani come sei, insegui il tuo destino, perché tutto il dolore che hai dentro.
Welcome back, darlings. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and I am here with this fabulous fashion designer. She's been in fashion for many, many years. She was a model, a fashion icon. She also played in a Federico Fellini film, 8.5 weeks.
That's right. No, 8.5. Just 8.5.
Just 8.5. That, I wanted to ask you about that. How did that happen for you, that film, 8.5?
Fellini asked me to be in it. That's how it happened.
But how did you meet the famous filmmaker?
Rome. I lived in Rome for quite a while doing films, and I met him at a party, and he took to me very much. He really liked me, and we became friends. I think that he did that with a lot of people, that he wanted to know that he could put in his films and understand who they were, so he could see how they would react to his direction.
He was brilliant. Don't you agree?
Yes, he was brilliant.
Was that your favorite movie that he ever made?
I think it was. I loved La Dolce Vita.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, a lot of my friends were in La Dolce Vita. That's when I first met him, when La Dolce Vita came out, and I met him, and I was trying to be very funny, and I said, I really didn't like that film. And he said, well, I'm only an amateur. I'm not a professional. And that's how we became friends.
He was being sarcastic.
Of course.
Yeah, he made so many great films.
Yeah.
And you were friends with him throughout his whole...
I was, and then we came to New York when he had the film showing, and Joe Levine was the producer of it. And we went to the screening of it, and no one understood it.
Well, it was so artsy. It was such a brilliant film. But it was artsy,
I think Joe Levine invited all his friends, and they didn't comprehend the movie at all. But it was a huge success, nevertheless.
I love watching, even to this day. But now, getting back to you as a model, as a designer, tell my audience how you even got into fashion.
Well, I never really thought about it. I think when I was about 12 years old, my mother had a store, and she was a hat designer, and I used to hang out there as a child.
Wasn't that the best, when women wore hats and gloves? Wasn't that era the greatest, really?
They'd probably go back to that one day, but it's not happening now.
Yeah, people are just too casual, I think.
Maybe. It's getting even more casual.
I never leave the house unless I have something on my head.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah. Now tell my audience, when did you start modeling?
I think I started when I was about 16 years old in Boston. I worked for a woman who had a retail store, and I tried on clothes, and she said, oh, you look great in clothes, and I started modeling for her. And then I went to New York, and I started modeling in New York. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Europe, and I continued my career, and then I worked for the great Coco Chanel for a few years. And then
What was she like?
Well, she was a dynamic woman, fabulous. She's always in my thoughts.
And her clothes?
Her clothes were fantastic.
Fantastic. Are you inspired by her, by the creation
sure.
now that you even design now?
No, everything I think about. I've done some suits today that are takeoffs on Chanel. They're not Chanel, but I think they're better than what's being done today. I'll say that much about them.
Now, you parlayed all of this with your knowledge, with your modeling, into a fantastic, dynamic design career. Tell my audience, what made you decide now to design the clothes?
Well, I'm a designer, and that's the only thing I want to do is design. I'm a very creative person artistically, and I think that's what it's just not even clothes. I mean, I design everything.
Tell us about the collection today that we're going to see.
Today's collection is primarily very simple, and it's all fabric-wise. I use very beautiful fabrics, and I've gotten this new brocade that I designed that came in, and it's a huge success, and very simple dresses. And now we're doing jersey dresses that I did years ago when I first started designing, and Women's Wear put it on the cover and put me in business, and that's what happened.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so now I'm going back to that, so to speak.
Now, how many pieces are we going to see today that are in the collection?
I mean, we have a lot. We have about 60, 70 pieces, but we're only going to show 20.
Okay, and we're going to have some refreshments and hors d'oeuvres and champagne.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have a good time right here in the Hamptons. Jackie, you're the best. I want you to, wait, don't go away yet. Don't go away yet. Very important. Everyone has to know, where can we go to find out more information? What's the website?
What's the website?
Here's your friends. What's the website?
Hi, Deb. Hi.
What's your website? Where can we go to
find? It's JackieRogers.com, and you can get me right there. Everything is there. It's fabulous.
Jackie, you're the best. Give me a kiss.
Okay.
We'll be back in a moment, darlings. More interviews coming up. Keep watching Big Champagne Kisses.
Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm your bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. This has been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.